I woke up telling myself, it's just a bad day. I said it out loud, like that might trick the air into believing me. The ceiling fan rattled above me, and my phone buzzed before my feet touched the floor. I looked at the screen and sighed. Another bill? I muttered. Sarah's voice came from the bathroom. What? The hospital, I said. Nana's bill. Again. She didn't answer. Water kept running. I opened my banking app anyway, even though I already knew what I'd see. Wow, I whispered. That's impressive. Sarah stepped out, drying her hair. What now? I have $28, I said. Not counting coins. She frowned. You didn't have to say it like that. Like what? I asked. Like the truth? She rolled her eyes. You're always dramatic. I laughed, but it came out wrong. Dramatic is crying in the rain. This is math. She looked at her phone, not at me. You should call the hospital. I already did, I said. They said we're past due. That's their polite word for desperate. Sarah sighed. I'm late. You're always late, I said. She stopped near the door. I work hard, Yen. I work too, I said. Just not for people who wear suits. She didn't smile. You know what I mean. I didn't answer. The door closed behind her, and the room felt smaller. I stared at the wall until my phone buzzed again. Nana's name lit up the screen. Nana, I said quickly. How are you feeling? His voice was weak. Like an old radio with bad signal. I tried to joke. Still playing, though. He chuckled, then coughed. Yen, the nurse says I need another test. I'll come, I said. I promise. You said that yesterday. I know, I said. I'm sorry. He was quiet for a second. Don't be sorry. Just come. I will, I said. I swear. After the call ended, I sat on the bed and rubbed my face. Just a bad day, I said again. Just one. By the time Sarah came home, it was dark. I smelled her before I saw her. Sweet perfume. Not hers. You showered somewhere else, I said. She froze. What? That smell, I said. It's not your soap. She dropped her bag. You're imagining things. Am I? I asked. Because my imagination usually isn't this expensive. She crossed her arms. Why are you like this? Like what? I asked. Poor. Her jaw tightened. We can't stay poor forever. My chest went cold. So that's it? That's not what I said, she replied. It's exactly what you said, I snapped. Just dressed nicer. She looked away. You wouldn't understand. Try me. She took a deep breath. My boss helped me. I blinked. Helped you how? He paid for my course, she said. He's mentoring me. Mentoring, I repeated. Is that what we're calling it? Her eyes filled with tears. Don't twist this. I'm not twisting anything, I said. I'm asking. She wiped her cheeks. I needed support. And I wasn't enough, I said. She whispered, I needed security. I laughed, loud and sharp. So you sold us? She flinched. Don't say it like that. How should I say it? I asked. Congratulations? She cried harder. I didn't want it to happen this way. Then why did it? I asked. She shook her head. Please understand. I don't, I said. I really don't. My phone rang again. Nana. I have to go, I said, grabbing my jacket. Now, she asked. Yes, I said. Because he's dying. She reached for me. Yen, wait. I pulled back. I can't. I ran. The streetlights blurred. My phone buzzed with missed calls, but I didn't look. When I reached the hospital, my lungs burned. Nana, I said at the desk. Room? The nurse looked at me with soft eyes. I'm sorry. I ran anyway. Machines beeped. Then one sound went flat. I dropped to my knees. Just a bad day, I whispered. The sound didn't change. Rain fell like it didn't care who was buried today. I stood in front of the grave and stared at the dirt, thinking, this is it. This is where his voice stops. I swallowed and whispered, I'm here, Nana. The words felt late. Bilal stood next to me, his hand gripping my shoulder hard. You don't have to be strong, Bilal said quietly. I don't know how not to be, I replied. The Imam spoke, but I barely heard him. My ears rang. My phone stayed silent. I checked it anyway. No message from Sarah. She's not coming, Bilal said. I know, I answered. You want me to say something? He asked. No, I said. I want her to. The rain soaked through my shirt. Someone handed me an umbrella. I shook my head. It's fine. After it was over, people hugged me and said things like, he's in a better place, and, you were a good grandson. I nodded like a robot. When everyone left, I stayed. I knelt and touched the wet soil. I failed you, I whispered. I should have been faster. Bilal crouched beside me. Yen, we should go. I need to do one thing first, I said. He sighed. I know where you're going. We took the bus downtown. I watched the city blur past the window. She didn't even text, I said. Bilal clenched his jaw. You sure you want to see her like this? I need answers, I said. Not apologies. The office building was tall and bright, like it didn't belong to people like me. I walked in wearing borrowed shoes and grief. The lobby smelled like money. Then I saw her. Sarah laughed. Not the soft laugh she used with me. A new one. She wore a dress I'd never seen. Horace Dane stood next to her, his hand resting on her back. That's him, Bilal muttered. I walked straight toward them. Sarah. She turned. Her smile froze. Yen? Horace raised an eyebrow. Who's this? I'm her boyfriend, I said. Sarah whispered, don't do this here. Why? I asked. Because your boss is watching? Horace smiled. You look upset. My grandfather just died, I said. Oh, he said. That's unfortunate. Sarah grabbed my arm. Please. I pulled away. You couldn't even come? She looked down. I had meetings. With him? I asked. Horace stepped closer. You're emotional. Men like you ruin women's futures. My fist tightened. Say that again. Bilal pulled me back. Yen. Stop. Security watched us. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. You're embarrassing me. That hurt worse than the rain. Come on, Bilal said, dragging me outside. I yelled, you chose money. She didn't answer. That night, I sat on my balcony staring down. My phone buzzed. Nana's unread message stared back at me. Yen, don't let pain make you small. I laughed, shaky and broken. Too late. I stepped closer to the edge. Sarah's face flashed in my mind, turning away. I closed my eyes. I woke up choking on air. I sat up so fast my head spun, and my chest burned like I'd been underwater. I slapped my hands over my face and whispered, I'm alive? The room looked wrong because it looked normal. My bed. My cracked wall. The fan ticking like it always did. I reached for my phone with shaking fingers. No, I said softly. No way. The date stared back at me. Weeks earlier. Before the funeral. Before the rain. Before the ground. This is a joke, I said. I'm dreaming. I pinched my arm hard. Oh. Okay. Not a dream. My phone buzzed again. Nana's name lit the screen. I answered immediately. Nana. Why are you yelling? He asked, confused but alive. My throat closed. You're okay? I'm old, not dead, he said, chuckling. What's wrong with you, boy? Tears spilled down my face. Nothing. Everything. I'm coming to see you today. You said that yesterday, he said gently. I mean it this time, I said. Please wait for me. I don't plan on going anywhere today, he replied. I ended the call and pressed my forehead to the wall. I get another chance, I whispered. I won't waste it. The bathroom door opened behind me. Yen? Sarah said. Why are you crying? I turned slowly. She looked the same. Same face. Same voice. Same woman who would leave me. My chest tightened, but this time I didn't beg. I had a bad dream, I said. She studied me. About what? Losing everything, I replied. She shrugged. You worry too much. She walked past me, scrolling on her phone. I watched her fingers move fast, hiding the screen when she noticed me looking. Who's texting you so early? I asked. My boss, she said quickly. Project update. I nodded. That's good. She blinked. You're not mad? Should I be? I asked. She hesitated. No. She grabbed her bag. I'm late. Of course you are, I said calmly. She paused at the door. You're acting weird. I'm tired, I said. Be careful today. She smiled. Always. The door closed. I stood there breathing slowly. She's already lying, I said to myself. But this time, I see it. At work, I kept my head down. My coworkers joked around, unaware of how close I'd come to ending everything. I watched faces instead of screens. I listened. Did you hear about the transfer? Someone whispered. Dane Tech is brutal, another replied. I went to the break room and poured coffee with steady hands. A woman stood beside me, quiet, sharp-eyed. You're new, she said. Not really, I replied. Just invisible. She smirked. That's safer here. I looked at her badge. Mina. She nodded. Be careful who you trust. With what? I asked. She met my eyes. Everything. That night, Sarah came home glowing. I might get promoted, she said. That's great, I replied. You're being supportive, she said, surprised. I'm learning, I answered. She hugged me. I didn't hug back. When she fell asleep, I stared at the ceiling and whispered, I won't be weak again. I woke up before my alarm and stared at the ceiling. No more begging, I whispered. No more waiting. Sarah was still asleep. I watched her phone light up, face down. I didn't touch it. Not yet. At breakfast she said, You look tired. I am, I said. Still upset about money? She asked. I'm upset about time, I replied. She frowned. What does that mean? It means I'm late to work, I said, standing up. Bilal called me while I was walking. You sound different, he said. I am different, I replied. You okay? No, I said. But I'm awake. That's not comforting, he muttered. I picked up extra shifts. I lied to my boss. Family emergency, I said. It wasn't a lie. I just didn't say which family. I worked nights, weekends, anywhere that paid cash. When my hands shook, I kept working. At the hospital, Nana smiled when he saw me. You look thin, he said. I'm busy, I replied. Busy living? Busy fixing, I said. He held my hand. Fix yourself first. A week later, he called me close. I kept something for you, he whispered. What? From your father. My chest tightened. I don't want it. You need it, he said. Not for money. For truth. He gave me a small metal box. That night I opened it alone. Papers. Shares. A letter. I'm sorry, the letter said. I laughed bitterly. Too late. At work, Mina passed me in the hallway. You're watching now, she said. I'm listening, I replied. Good, she said. That's how people survive here. Sarah came home late again. Dinner, she asked. I ate, I said. She sighed. You're distant. I'm focused, I replied. She checked her phone. I have to answer this. Of course, I said, smiling. When she turned away, I whispered, I see you. That night, I wrote one line in my notebook. Survival requires lies. I woke up to Sarah getting dressed in the dark. You're up early, I said. She froze. Did I wake you? No, I replied. I couldn't sleep. She slipped on a jacket. I have an early meeting. With Horace? I asked. She hesitated just long enough. Yes. Good luck, I said. She turned, surprised. That's it? What else should I say? I asked. She studied my face like she was searching for a crack. You've changed. I had to, I replied. She leaned in and kissed my cheek. I'll be late. I know, I said. After she left, I sat at the table and stared at the metal box Nana gave me. Time, I whispered. That's all I need. Bilal met me later at a cheap cafe. You look scary calm, he said. I'm scared inside, I replied. That's why I'm calm. He leaned forward. You gonna tell me what's going on? My father invested in Daintech, I said. Years ago. Bilal blinked. The same Daintech? Yes. He whistled. That's insane. It's leverage, I said. Or a death wish, he replied. I'm choosing leverage. He nodded slowly. What do you need? Connections, I said. And silence. I can do one of those, he smiled. Maybe both. That afternoon, I met Faisal Raza. You're young, he said, adjusting his glasses. I know, I replied. And angry, he added. I prefer motivated. He smiled faintly. Good. Angry clients rush. Motivated clients win. I slid the documents across the table. Tell me how long. He studied them carefully. If everything checks out, months. I clenched my jaw. Too long. Power doesn't rush, he said. It waits. That night, Sarah came home glowing. He's impressed with me, she said. I'm sure, I replied. He says I have potential, she continued. I nodded. Everyone does. She laughed softly. You're not jealous anymore. No, I said. I'm busy. With what? She asked. Becoming someone you won't recognize, I thought, but said, work. She sat beside me. Horace says you hold me back. I looked at her. Do you believe him? She didn't answer. I stood up. I'm going for a walk. Outside, the air felt heavy. I pulled out my phone and called Mina. You don't know me well, I said. I know enough, she replied. I need information, I said. Quietly. She paused. That's dangerous. So is ignorance, I replied. She exhaled. I'll see what I can do. When I came home, Sarah was asleep. Her phone buzzed on the table. I didn't touch it. Not yet, I whispered. I opened my notebook and wrote one word. Patience. Time was mine now. I was washing dishes when Mina called. You said quietly, she said. So don't react. I'm listening, I replied. There are complaints, she said. Not official ones. Drafts. Deleted emails. Settlements. About Horace, I said. Yes, she answered. And women. And money. My hands tightened around the plate. Can you prove it? Not alone, she said. And not safely. I won't say your name, I promised. She paused. Everyone says that. I'm not everyone, I replied. Silence. Then, I'll send what I can. That night, I met Zara in a noisy diner. You look tired, she said. I am, I replied. But I'm awake. She smiled. Bilal says you want truth. I want daylight, I said. On a man who hides in shadows. She leaned forward. Then don't lie to me. I won't, I said. But I need time. She nodded. I'll wait. At home, Sarah was pacing. You didn't answer my texts, she said. I was busy, I replied. With what? She asked sharply. Surviving, I said. She laughed nervously. You're being dramatic again. Am I? I asked. Or are you scared? Her face hardened. Horace invited me to dinner. I swallowed. Go. She blinked. You don't care? I trust you, I lied. She smiled, relieved. Thank you. Later, I followed at a distance. I watched Horace grab her wrist outside the restaurant. Don't say no to me, he snapped. She pulled away. You're hurting me. I recorded everything, my hands shaking. Back home, I whispered, this is the crack. And for the first time, I knew the fall had started. I was leaving the hospital when a man blocked my path. Yen, he said. I stopped. Don't call me that. He swallowed. You look just like your mother. That doesn't earn you a conversation, I replied. I'm your father, he said. Imran. I laughed once. You're late. By decades. I know, he said quietly. Can we talk? No, I said. I'm busy keeping my grandfather alive. I can help with that, he replied. I turned back. With what money? The kind you ran away with? He didn't flinch. The kind I invested. My chest tightened. Explain. He pulled out documents. Daintech. Early shares. I put them in your name. I stared at the papers. Why? Because I failed you once, he said. I didn't want to fail you forever. I clenched my jaw. You don't get to save me now. I'm not asking forgiveness, he replied. I'm offering tools. Nana coughed behind me. Let him talk, he whispered. I hated that Nana trusted him. Later, Sarah came home shaking. Horace yelled at me, she said. I looked at her calmly. And? He said I owe him, she whispered. I nodded. You do. She stared at me. Why are you like this? Because I warned you, I said. She reached for me. I made a mistake. I stepped back. So did he. My phone buzzed. Faisal's name. We can move tomorrow, he said. Majority control. I closed my eyes. Do it. That night, I sat alone and whispered, I hate you, Dad. The silence didn't argue. I slept anyway. I didn't wear a suit. That was the first thing Horace noticed. He walked into the boardroom smiling, confident, late on purpose. I was already seated at the head of the table. When he saw me, his smile twitched. You're in the wrong room, he said. I folded my hands. Sit down. The lawyers shifted. The executives avoided my eyes. Sarah stood near the wall, confused, dressed like she belonged but unsure why she was there. Horace laughed. This is funny. Who invited you? I did, Faisal said calmly. Horace turned. And you are? The man who just transferred controlling shares, Faisal replied. Horace's smile vanished. That's impossible. I slid the documents forward. Read slower. He flipped pages fast, breathing harder. This isn't real. It is, I said. I own Daintech. Sarah whispered, Yen? I didn't look at her. Horace slammed the table. You're bluffing. I leaned forward. You taught me never to bluff. Silence swallowed the room. Mina stood by the door, eyes wide. She met my gaze and nodded once. Horace hissed, You think money makes you powerful? I shook my head. No. Exposure does. He leaned close. You'll regret this. I whispered, You already are. Faisal cleared his throat. Mr. Dane, you're relieved of duty pending investigation. Security stepped in. Sarah rushed forward. What's happening? I finally looked at her. You chose wrong. Horace was dragged out shouting threats. The room stayed quiet. I sat back and felt nothing. Not victory. Not joy. Just emptiness. I owned everything now. And somehow, I felt poorer than ever. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. I stared at it and said, "Let it ring." Bilal stood in my office doorway. "That's not your style." "I'm tired of reacting," I replied. "Today, I watch." He stepped inside. Zara published. "I know," I said. "You didn't even read it?" "I lived it," I answered. He exhaled. "The headline is brutal." "Good." The door burst open. Horace's lawyer stormed in. "This is illegal." I leaned back. "Sit down or leave." He pointed at me. "You're destroying a man." "No," I said. I stopped protecting him. He scoffed. "He built this company." "So did the people he crushed," I replied. My phone buzzed again. "Sarah." I answered. "What?" Her voice cracked. "They arrested him." "Yes." "He's blaming me," she cried. "He always needed someone smaller," I said. She whispered, "I'm scared." "So was I replied. "Every day." She sobbed. "Can you help me?" I closed my eyes. "I already did." "You just didn't see it." She hung up. Mina knocked softly. "More employees are talking." "Protect them," I said. She nodded. "Thank you." Zara called next. "He wants to confess." "Record everything," I said. She smiled through the phone. "You okay?" "No," I said. "But I'm finished." That night, Horace was arrested again. This time for fraud. I watched the news silently. Karma didn't scream. It wore a suit and followed the law. And it didn't need me anymore. I sat beside Nana's bed and listened to the machine breathe for him. "You did good," he whispered. "I did what I had to," I said. He smiled weakly. "That's what good men say." I held his hand. "I was scared I'd lose you again." "You didn't," he replied. "You came back." Tears fell. "I should have always been here." He squeezed my fingers. "You're here now. That's enough." The monitor slowed later that night. I felt it before the nurse spoke. "I'm right here," I whispered. "You can rest." He smiled one last time. "Live." The line went flat. This time, I didn't fall apart. At the funeral, I stood straight. Bilal stayed close. "You breathing?" he asked. "Yeah," I replied. "It hurts, but yeah." "That's progress," he said. Weeks passed. I cleaned the company like a wound. Mina became head of compliance. "You earned this," I told her. She nodded. "So did you." Imran met me for coffee. "I won't disappear again," he said. "Don't promise," I replied. "Just show up." He nodded. "I will." Sarah never came back. I heard she left the city. One night, I stood on the same balcony. I looked at the streetlights and said, "I'm still here." And for the first time, that felt like victory.